Hi, Shelley from Spin Cushions here, Crochet Designs by Shelley Husband, and I'm going to show you another pattern from my Granny Square Academy called Skipping Sarah. Hopefully you've got the written pattern printed out next to you, ready to go, and let's get started. So first off, we just need to start exactly the same as we did with our first pattern. So we're going to do a slip knot, then we're going to chain one, which is where we're going to work all of our first round stitches. Then we're going to chain three to take the place of our first stitch, and again we're just going to be doing trebles UK, doubles US. We'll do one in that center hole, first chain, sorry. Oops. Chain two, two more in that same hole. Remember to use stitch markers if you're not sure where you need to put your hook. And two more, chain, sorry. Then two more stitches. Oops, excuse me, I've got my written pattern next to me. Chain two and two more stitches. And then we have 2, 4, 6, 8 stitches, 4 lots of 2 stitches. We're going to chain one and join with a stitch, double crochet UK terms, single crochet US terms to the top of our third chain. Now the next round is also the same as our first pattern, solid Sue. So we do chain three, then a stitch over the joining stitch, then we do a stitch in every stitch across the side, so there's two. First one goes in here, same loop we joined up to. Don't worry about it being big and everything, it'll all tie in nicely once we're finished. And then our corner, which is 2 stitches, 1, 2, chain 2 and 2 stitches, all in that 2 chain space. And we do that all the way around, so we have a solid round, and I will do that and then show you what happens next. Okay, I've done all the repeats, so now it's just a matter of doing 2 stitches in the same place as our first stitches. Finish off that corner. That's 1, that's 2, and again we're going to chain 1 and join with a stitch to the top of our third chain. Okay, round 3 is where we're going to skip our first lots of stitches. So we're going to start off the same way, chain 3 to pretending to be our first stitch, stitch over our joining stitch. Now we've got 6 stitches along the side here from our previous round. We're going to skip the first 2, work a stitch in the middle 2, and then skip the last 2. When we're skipping, we're going to chain though. We're going to chain 1 in this case. Chain 1, skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, work a stitch in the next 2. 1, 2. Then we chain 1 and we're up to our corner, which is 2 stitches, chain 2, 2 stitches, just like we've done before. So I will do that all the way around and show you what we do next. Okay, I've almost done my repeats. I just need to chain 1 and skip those last 2 stitches, and we'll do our finish off our corner by doing 2 stitches in the same place we did our first stitches. Then I'm going to chain 1 and join to the top of our third chain. Because we've got a chain loop, it can be a bit tricky, but find your P. So that means there's our P there. So this must be the top of our third chain. Join with a stitch. Okay, the next round is a solid round, but we're going to start with chain 3 to pretend to be our first stitch, a stitch over the joining stitch in that corner hole there. Then we are going to do a stitch in the next 2 stitches. The first one is where we joined up to, the top of that third chain. One in there. Now we're going to do 2 stitches in the 1 chain space. So we're not going in the chain, we're going in the space. So in the big hole, nice and easy. 2 stitches, 1, 2. Now we need to do a stitch in the next 2. If it might have gotten covered up when you've done your chains, just slide them across so your P pops out. 1 in there and 1 in there. Now we're up to a 1 chain space again, 2 more stitches in there. And now we've got a stitch in the last 2 stitches of the side. And we're up to our corner, which is 2 stitches, chain 2 and 2 stitches. So I will again do that all the way around and show you how we finish off and start the next round. Okay, so I've done my repeats all the way around. I've done 2 stitches in the same place as our first stitches. So now we need to chain 1, join with a stitch to the top of our 3rd chain. And now we're going to start on round 5. It's going to be much the same as round 3, but there's going to be more lots of 2 stitches and more gaps along the side. So we start by chaining 3 to be our first stitch, stitch over our joining stitch. Then we are going to chain 1, skip the first 2 stitches, 1, 2, and do 2 stitches, do a stitch in the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, then we do that again, chain 1, skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, work a stitch in the next 2, and you should see that those middle 2 stitches line up against the 2 stitches we did in round 3. Then we're going to chain 1 again, skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, work a stitch in the next 2, 1, 2, then we chain 1, skip 2 stitches, and we're up to our corner, which is again 2 stitches, chain 2, 2 stitches, all in the same place. So I'll do that all the way around and show you the last round. Right, so I've done all of my repeats. I've chained 1. Now I just need to skip the last 2 stitches and do 2 stitches back in that first hole. And again, chain 1 and join with a stitch to the top of our 3rd chain. Okay, and our last round again is a solid round, so we're going to do chain 3, starting chain, stitch over the joining stitch, and now we're going to do 1 in every stitch along the side. It's 1, 2, and we're going to do 2 in every 1 chain space. 1, 2. So you're kind of counting by 2s the whole way along the side. 1, 2 in the stitch, and then 2 in the 1 chain space. And our corners again are the same. 2 stitches, chain 2, 2 stitches. So I'll do that all the way around and show you how to finish off. Okay, I've done all of my repeats. I just need to do 2 more stitches in the same place as our first stitches to finish off that first corner. And this time we're going to chain 2 and join with a slip stitch to the top of our 3rd chain. And that is that. Skipping Sarah is all done. Just pull that through. There you have it. Skipping Sarah from Granny Square Academy. If you stumbled on this video and don't know what I'm talking about, if you head to my blog spincushions.com, you'll find a link to Granny Square Academy where you'll find 10 patterns teaching you lots of cool things about crochet you may not have known. Thanks very much. See ya.